And we're back with some Week 4 previews. Who would have thought? We get 2 in the first month, but with Aharb putting out the daggum West Coast brew on a regular basis, making me look bad here. So I'm back. I'm in the saddle. Back in the saddle again, if you like country music, as Luke Combs might say. And some of you might be looking down at your watch being like, well, damn, Thrills, it's Wednesday. I'm glad you made it, but what the shit? Well, my predictions haven't been the greatest thus far, so I figured, if I give myself, a slight advancement, think about it like golf. I'm not playing from the tips. I'm going to move up some towards, the senior tees. So I'm just giving myself a slight advantage here, see if it makes a difference. Will it? Who knows? Can't hurt to try. And in honor of past Masters Week, that's why I emphasize that analogy. It's like how everything ties together. So we've got 6 big matchups this week. And by big, I mean, they're matchups. They're people playing each other. I would say, so far, there were a couple big matchups I was looking forward to when the week started. That was Billy versus Rybak, because, well, just the rivalry there between those. It's like Cubs, Cardinals, pure hatred. I'm surprised that the Slack board hasn't blown up yet. And then I was also looking forward to a little Nuttin' But Chillin', or you know what? Let me give the man his due. Nuttin', just undefeated, versus Pants. Don't know why I like that matchup. Maybe because Ant and Ben. Man, those are two guys, two titans of the industry, if you will. It's like Pepsi-Cola and Coca-Cola. So I just, those are my matchups of the week. What I was excited to see. We almost made it 2 minutes without the first cock-a-doodle-doo. There'll be like 6 more in the next 3 minutes. Sorry about that. I got the dogs to quit barking temporarily. So you got to take what you can get here, boys. You got to take what you can get. So let's go ahead and get into the first matchup of the week that I want to discuss. That's Italian Guy, Master Exploder. There's number 2. Italian Guy, former champ. We all know Aharb, champion last year, 0-3 start. Doesn't look like it's going to put him down so much. It's actually the worst start for a defending champion since 2004. So Aharb, 2-decade-old. You just broke that record right there. The worst champs we've seen in the past have been 0-1 coming out the gate. So being 0-3, whoo, that's rough. But if anybody can try to overcome it, it's definitely you. If I were you, I'd be looking at the players that are in, there's number 3, from California, not named Will Smith. It seems like everybody whose home is in California, their home team, has been sucktastic so far for you. Like Matt Chapman, Rafael Devers, your Oakland Athletics, Brett Rooker, and Lawrence Butler. I mean, they've all just been, Rooker hurt himself just swinging. He's like, I can't hit a home run, so I'm just going to hurt myself. And your pitching staff, I mean, the first 3 weeks has not been very Aharbish. And I know, 1 year at a time, but last year had a dominant staff from start to end, if I recall. And, I mean, I was already eliminated from the playoffs by this time, so I didn't care as much, and the rivalry wasn't totally there. But I do recall having to go up against a dominant staff twice last year. This staff, I mean, they're not striking folks out. Their ERA's not that great. I mean, what is going on with this squad? But, like I said, if anybody's going to micromanage, research, overlook, underlook, over here, under there, it's going to be Aharb. So, we're not going to count him out yet. Going up against brother D-Harb here. Now, I don't really know what to say. I don't know what to say. D-Harb, I don't know if he's won since he got, I know he hasn't won since he got married. So, I'm just, women can be a curse. But if you don't want to blame your beautiful bride, you might want to blame Double J. And no, wrestling fans, I'm not talking about Jeff Jarrett. I'm talking about Jazzy Jaren. Those 2 guys combined have 1 more home run than any of us in this league. Just know that. 1 more dinger than the rest of us combined. That's pretty daggum pathetic, if you ask me. And I know D-Harb's just got to be sitting there looking like Jazz Chisholm, Jarren Duran, Studley players. What is going on? Jarren Duran's just running around flipping folks off. So, that's all he cares about now. Throwing up the bird, whether justified or not. I didn't see the story, but I did see him flip somebody off, so I can never be too upset by that. And, I like Jarren Duran for some reason. Wanted Jazz Chisholm this year. But if those boys don't turn it around, D-Harb's going to be in for a long season. Another side note on D-Harb, I don't know if anybody's noticed the standings. The man has not won a game yet. 0-1. He's in 9th place. He's actually ahead of somebody who has a win on the season. That's crazy when you think about it. No wins, higher than 1 win. Winning for Millhouse. D-Harb, we got some bad news, though. I mean, it's already 7-3 as I look at it. I don't see it improving for you. I mean, it might improve to like 6-4 or 8-4 at some point in time. It's not going to improve enough to get you a win. I don't know what the stats are. I'm looking at the main screen here. I see it's 7-3, and I see Italian guy pulling out the dub. Next up, we're going to be looking at Highest Bidet versus the Dangerously Wise One. Vinny Pasquantino might be the worst player in fantasy baseball right now. I don't know if anybody's had an opportunity to scroll on over, look at his stats. Woo, baby. It bad. It real bad right there for Vinny P. But thank guy's got Max Muncy cracking 3 dingers in one game, carrying the weight a little bit. I mean, since that game, other than that one game, he only has 1 home run on the year. And he's typical Max Muncy, batting about 220, striking out 6,000 times a season. But he does one thing well, and that's get on base. So Billy Beane would be ever so proud. So would every Dodger fan, I guess. They love Max. He helped them win a World Series. And it looks like on his team that Brian Reynolds has found the fountain of youth. I mean, B-Rye, back in the game. He's turned it back. I didn't want to do that. He's gone back in time 2-3 years. And I'm impressed. I was like Brian Reynolds. When I owned him, he sucked. But hey, it is what it is. Happens to the best of us. Dangerous Wise One. Oh, I think on your offense, you only have like 2 players that I would even contemplate trading for, if that tells you anything. To be 2-0-1 and only have 2 players on your offense that I would want, you're doing something right. It's not owning Garrett Crochet. I'm starting to wonder if his arm's going to get that tired arm. Dominating last year, throwing a buttload of innings, and now just giving up, 5, how many runs? 8 runs and 5 outs the other day? That's studly. That's real studly. And while we're, talking about people on your team that are sucking, did the Tigers incentivize Framber Valdez to not get strikeouts? Because he is allowed to get those. He's allowed to ring folks up. His K per 9 of like 4.7, that's almost not even playable in this league. That you really got to think about that, Seb. But I'm not trying to help you out. I'm just trying to give you, friendly info. 4.79 K per 9, not helping the K per walks, that's for sure. Not helping K per 9. I mean, he plays for the Tigers. At least you get to cheer him on. You won't be cheering this week because Cody's going to beat you. It's 6-6 now. It doesn't end that way. Ends with Code Nobes. Highest Bidet on top. Speaking of being on top, we got Wrong Hole versus Sons of Pitches. Wrong Hole's looking for any hole right now. A hole in the diamond, a hole... Well, I'm not going to say anymore. That people might see this. But his team just can't get anything going. Even though he's got the best outfield in the league. Jackson Merrill, James Woods, Fernando Tatis Jr., Corbin Carroll. Anybody in this league would take them as their number 1 outfielder. Maybe number 2. And he's got all 4 of them. He's stacked right there. I don't understand how he doesn't have a win with just 1 win. Not 2, 3, and he's already losing 10-1. But... he's got a staff where it's going to be like that. He's got a team. It's going to be like that. He's going to be hot. He's not going to be not. We know how Fernando Tatis is, unless he's, juicing up. He might not be producing at, top 5 outfielder worthy at the end of the season. But I still got faith in that team going forward. Sons of Pitches came out like a man on fire this week. 10-1 right now, whooping up on Jaycock. Got pissed off about getting a tie last week. Pissed off at his offense for a Sunday shit out. But he shouldn't be pissed off at Ben Rice. Top 10 players so far this year. I know the season's still young, but hey, I'd rather be top 10 than not top 10. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter 3 weeks in, 3 weeks out. Oh, snap. The neighbor's dog is out. My dog is out. We're going to take a brief pause, go to commercial. And we're back. Where were we? Sons of Pitches, talking about Ben Rice being a kick-ass baseball player. God, I wish I owned Ben Rice right now. Whew. Looking back here, God, threw me off track with those damn dogs right there. Mo D doing his thing. I've never once seen it. It's a typical Reinhardt staff. It's not flashy, but it's rock solid. Reinhardt's never got, Michael Waka Flocka Flame style pitchers, which somebody else might own him. Speaking of pitchers, Sons of Pitches, it's a cakewalk this week. You're beating the wrong hole. I'm out of breath running down there. I'm too freaking old for this. Next up, one of my matchups of the week. The Wiz versus Win It for Millhouse. The Wiz, if I'd have done this yesterday, I think you were winning 10-1. Now, shows you losing 3-9. I'm thinking, being 2-0-1, you're in first place. Feeling good about yourself, aren't you? Well, you shouldn't be. I'll tell you why. Because that trade for Nick Kurtz, it's going to come back. Karma. It's happened to this guy before. It's happened to this guy. I might have acquired Jose Altuve once back in the day in a trade that was deemed entirely lopsided. I did not win a title that year. I just brought shame and embarrassment and anger from the league. I know it's 2 weeks old, but I still had to put it out there. I will say that you've had some great additions to your staff picking up Taj Bradley. What? What is that? Like, that was a good move. I didn't know he was going to be... Are you getting inside information from John? Because if John Hepp is telling you, hey, Taj Bradley, he's going to be the truth this year, my dark horse Cy Young candidate, that's like insider trading, my friend. And that is looked down upon in this league. Unless I'm doing it, then it's acceptable. Win it for Millhouse. What's not acceptable is that you're behind a team with no wins, as I discussed earlier. That's with a Simpsons-based name and being craptastic. It's quite disheartening. It's quite disheartening. I could have confused this for B Green's team being a Simpsons name. Oh, I love the sun right in my face. Good thing I got these sweet shades on. I don't really know what to say about this team. Like, I mean, he went so young. Like, some of these guys, as A-Harp said, the testicles haven't even dropped yet, still sucking their thumbs. I mean, still sipping on mommy's teat right there. You know, all the things. All I can say is, I think Shea Langoliers is this year's Cal Raleigh. Chalk it up, write it down. I know it's early. I know you can look at him and be like, well, Bill, look how good he's playing already. It's going to continue. 162-game season. He's going to be a top 5 MVP candidate. Boom! Lock it up. I just said it right there. It's not going to matter. I mean, winning for Millhouse is going to lose again this week somehow. The Wiz will pull it out. Just like our next team has just continually pulled out non-losses. Nothing, just undefeated. How does this keep happening? How does Anthony keep winning? The man spent 95% of his budget by 5/14 at the draft. I mean, the draft ended at 8:30. He was $1 players for 3.5 hours, basically. It's bananas right now. Absolutely bananas. Must be voodoo. That's what I'm really chalking it up to. Anthony at home. You know, he's hung around most of us enough to, you know, be able to poke and poke and poke. You know, he's probably got, you know, a majestic-looking voodoo doll of all of us somewhere in his house. And he's like, oh, who am I playing this week? Ben. Ben, I could see Ben wearing like a fucking, you know, Led Zeppelin shirt, which was what our intro played for right there. That was just for you, Benny, but I want you to know that. And Anthony just like poking him or really mess with an elbow or ankles or something, prevent his players from getting some power in those swings. Who really knows? Who really knows? I do know that O'Neal Cruz is pulling out his best Shohei Ohtani impression this year, stealing bases, cranking dingers, looking otherworldly. When the first 4 games of the season, he did look otherworldly, but he just looked like, you know, shit-worthy, not MVP caliber worthy. He strikes out a lot still, but hey, who gives a shit? He's kicking dick. And your top 3 pitchers are freaking phenomenal. Skeens, Chris Sale, Max Fried. Anthony he might do something this year. He might do something. Pants is a guy who would love to shut Anthony up. Loves to shut him up. It's fantastic. I don't know if he's going to shut him up this week, but, you know, I will say it's been a very quiet first 3-4 weeks on the Slack board for old Bedell right there. He's just, you know, taking everything in, preoccupado with some other fantastic job dealings. Fuck this sun. Who really knows what Benny Boy's doing? This has made a million times worse. I'm just going to throw that out there. But his team is still somehow 2-1-0. Francisco Lindor, barely playing above, like, independent league style baseball, but he's still cranking them out. His team is still working. Pants is still doing the damn Pants thing. Ben drafted his team based off vibes. If you weren't there, that's what he said. I'm basing my team off vibes this year. No research whatsoever. I can appreciate that kind of style. What I can't appreciate is the fact that Waka Flocka Flame is really your number 1 pitcher. Mentioned his name earlier. That's bananas. That is flat out bananas. That anybody can say Waka Flocka Flame is my number 1 pitcher. But right now, Benny Boy can say that. And it's not as... It's because he's pretty decent. He's pretty decent. I wish I owned him. I only owned him for 1 start when I needed a spot start, and it wasn't a spot shark. Ben's he's gonna need all the luck he can get this week because Anthony's got the voodoo doll out. But it's not gonna matter. There's not enough luck to topple Ant right now. Ant picks up the dub. Last matchup of the week, talk about second place versus 11th place. Almost first versus almost last. I really think B Green should change his name based upon his position each week. I would get a kick out of that. I don't know if anybody else would, but I would. And this week he could be 11th place. Who knows what he'd be next week? If he'd be back to 12th place or 10th place, or shoot, he could even be 9th place. The matchup's 13-0. Thrills Revenge Tour has twice as many bases as 11th place team. His pitching is doing well. You know what? For his 12th place team, your manager might not be that great at fantasy baseball, but it's because he's focused on a lot of other things. All right, focused on golf, focused on peptides, focused on drugs. You know, he just for as great as he is at other things, I can't figure out the non-crossover here. Everybody knows Big Green's my best friend, but how can he be so good at one thing, two things, three things, four things, and just not good at this year? Every move you've made has just kind of backfired on you. I mean, you sat Bo Naylor this week. Not Bo Naylor. Is it Bo? I don't know which Naylor it is. Josh Naylor. Josh. Bo's up in Cleveland. Josh Naylor, and he's got, of course, the day you sit him, 2 dingers. Just your kind of luck. At least Jake Berger. It was a double cheeseburger that night, so I'll give you credit for that. Big Green, I'll tell my team to take it easy, take it slow. No need to rack up. You know, and I know there's not a mercy rule. There's no need to just keep laying it on. I'll pull off the dogs on at some point in time. I don't know when, but I'll pull them off. It's not going to be enough for you to win. You conceded earlier, so regardless of the outcome of the week, as commissioner, you conceded. So I'm giving myself an automatic victory. So I'm already 3-1, and you're 0-3-1. So doesn't matter what happens. You conceded. You conceded. So just to recap, after those ramblings of a madman, TRT's winning, Italian Guy's winning, Dangerous Ones is winning, Sons of Pitches is winning, Wiz is winning, and Nuttin, just undefeated, is winning. I hope to be back next week. No promises are guaranteed in this world, especially that one. But until next time, your commish, signing off. Let's listen to a little more Zeppelin for Benny Boy right there. Maybe that'll get him active in the league before we sign off here. And Ben, do you know the name of this song? Or does anybody know the name of this song? I can only play 5 more seconds with the Peace out, boys.